So let's just show the page again. Sorry, we got cut off in my machine crashed in the last presentation. So let's just play then hello2.aspx again. Okay, and what we see is, as we said before, we see the page with the hello world appearing lower down the page than the other text, notwithstanding the fact that if we look in the source, the hello world appears before the text telling you the time. So the hello world appears first, but on the page it appears at the bottom of the page, and the stuff which gives you the date, hello world, the time now is, that appears at the top, even though it appears in the HTML after the hello world again section. So this is now the tricky thing. So that's all very well. I've just shown you just some simple HTML of that kind, but if I were to, if this page were to contain things like a form, let's go into the design view here. I'm going to show you how we can add some sort of like something like you would see in a typical form. A form being some HTML made up of things like text boxes and other stuff, which will help you see how in which you can put in data. So let's make the toolbox appear. Okay, so bring up the toolbox on the right. Let's drag a text box into the page somewhere. Okay, and let's just we need somehow just to signal to the user what this text box is all about. It's difficult to actually edit this in this page now, so let's go back into the source. There's my text box, and immediately by my text box I can put in maybe a paragraph tag. Put in your date of birth. Okay, so if we do something like that, then go back into the design view, I can see put in your date of birth. Okay, and so you see all that there, but it's quite clear. It's okay, it's not too bad to our eyes to actually work out, for example, that put in your date of birth is the instruction to actually the text box. But you imagine now if this was a speech reader, a speech browser reading this page, looking at the page source. Okay, you get something like this. I mean, this is not too difficult to understand. Put in your date of birth. Okay, but I could, of course, always, following exactly the same principle, go back. I could style paragraphs to appear, say, at the bottom of the page, and that's not going to be difficult, as we've seen already. So if we go into the style sheet, let's create a special area for paragraphs, the P tag, and we can say position, absolute, top. Okay. colon 75%. Okay, and then we do an end squiggly bracket to enter the paragraph section of the style sheet. I've got something slightly wrong there, as yes, I put a colon rather than a semicolon between the two sets of pairs. Okay, so let's now kind of look again at hello2.aspx and see how now what it looks like. Okay, so is it sort of like something's gone wrong. We've lost our styling. The colour's gone. Things have not gone quite right. So let's quit out of Firefox. And yes, it looks like the style sheet. Yes, by accident I dragged the style sheet from its folder into the top level directory, and so it can't find the style anymore. So now let's go back, having put it in the right position. Let me again show hello2.aspx, and as we see it now, it should be properly styled, and then it's got put in your date of birth again appearing very low in the page, and yet it's only referring to this text box here where we want the users to put in their date of birth. Okay, 01.01.1980 or something like that. So now that means therefore that if a person was using a speech browser, that would be a very, very confusing page to read. Okay, so there needs to be a way where we can associate things where the user has to interact more clearly with the label which tells them how to interact. Okay, and also I just need to point out at this point the way labels are rendered. Okay, well, let's play hello2.aspx again. Okay, and when we run this, what we will see is that although we use the ASP label as our code, let's look in the page source. You'll see that ASP label, when it turns into HTML in the final moment of being viewed by the user, those ASP label tags actually get converted into spans in HTML. Okay, so although we call them ASP label because they're as a server control, that isn't necessarily how the tag will appear when it comes into the HTML, and that's in fact how it gets changed in HTML. In the next chapter, the next presentation, we're going to show you how to use ASP labels with an associated control IDs, such that we can now begin to associate a particular label with the control that it is trying to describe. And this is the accessibility benefit of that particular operation.